Donald Trump just escalated his war with Elon Musk, and this time it's about money, power, and public humiliation. After Musk publicly criticized Trump's new $5 trillion America First spending bill as a bloated disaster and fiscal suicide, Trump responded not with words, but with a threat: revoke federal subsidies. In a closed-door fundraiser that's now been leaked, Trump reportedly told high-level donors he was done feeding Elon's empire, and suggested that if Musk wants to play games, let him build rockets without taxpayer help. This wasn't some subtle dig. It was a direct warning. Criticize me publicly, and I'll dismantle your pipeline to billions in federal money. This feud is no longer just verbal. It's financial warfare, and the consequences could shake up everything from Tesla's stock to the future of SpaceX's NASA contracts. Here's why it exploded. Elon Musk took to X last week, the platform he owns, and posted a thread tearing into Trump's bill, calling it a stealth tax on innovation and a threat to private enterprise masquerading as nationalism. Within hours, the post went viral. Over 48 million impressions in less than 12 hours. Musk wasn't just criticizing the numbers. He was mocking Trump's base, posting sarcastic polls asking, should we fund Mars exploration or gold-plated border walls? That crossed the line. Trump doesn't forget insults, especially not ones broadcast to tens of millions of voters on a platform he's been banned from. So when reports surfaced that Trump was privately vowing to choke the Musk machine, it wasn't hard to connect the dots. This wasn't just business. This was personal retaliation, and it's already having fallout. Tesla's stock took a hit the morning after Musk's thread went viral. Investors are nervous, not just because of Trump's threat, but because a large portion of Tesla's success and Musk's broader business empire is tied to government contracts, energy credits, and federal incentives. If Trump were to win office and follow through on cutting off Musk, it wouldn't just be symbolic. It would cripple core operations across Tesla, SpaceX, and even Neuralink, and Trump knows it. That's what makes this feud different. Trump isn't just ranting on Truth Social. He's targeting the financial arteries of one of the most powerful CEOs in the world. The question now isn't whether Trump will act, it's whether Musk will fire back harder, and what happens if he does. Because if there's one thing Trump hates more than criticism, it's a billionaire who won't back down. Trump isn't just bluffing. When he said he's done feeding Elon's empire, it wasn't an empty rant. It was a real threat to one of the most government-dependent private businesses in the United States. Despite Musk's public image as a self-made innovator, the truth is that SpaceX, Tesla, and even parts of Starlink have relied heavily on federal funding, tax credits, and multi-billion-dollar government contracts. If Trump gets back into power and turns off that tap, Musk won't just lose money. He'll lose leverage, momentum, and dominance in industries he helped shape. This isn't celebrity drama. This is Trump threatening to cut off the oxygen supply to one of the richest men alive. And Musk knows it. Let's break it down. In 2023 alone, SpaceX secured over $2.8 billion in federal contracts from NASA, the Pentagon, and U.S. space infrastructure deals. Tesla has benefited from $7.6 billion in electric vehicle tax credits since 2009. And the Inflation Reduction Act, which Trump now vows to dismantle, has opened up massive renewable energy incentives that Tesla's next generation of vehicles is banking on. The numbers are not small. If Trump follows through and guts those programs or redirects contracts away from Musk, the financial impact could be catastrophic. Not just to Musk's bottom line, but to the U.S. innovation race itself. And that's what's fueling this showdown. Trump is sending a message: criticize me, and I'll make sure your rockets never leave the launch pad again. And here's the strategic edge. Trump knows Musk's public image is built on confidence. The moment investors sense vulnerability, especially political vulnerability, stock prices shift. Shareholder trust evaporates. Already, after Trump's threats leaked, Tesla's stock dipped nearly 6% overnight, wiping out billions in market value. SpaceX insiders, according to reports from Bloomberg and Politico, are quietly assessing contract exposure, trying to predict how much could be at risk if Trump returns to power and makes good on his promise. For all his bravado online, Musk has stayed unusually quiet since the leak. That silence speaks volumes. Behind the scenes, his teams are in damage control mode. This isn't like Trump's old feuds with Hollywood or Twitter execs. This is different. Because unlike most of Trump's enemies, Elon Musk actually depends on the very system Trump used to run and wants to control again. That gives Trump leverage, and he's finally decided to use it. For Musk, this isn't about reputation anymore. It's about survival. And unless he hits back hard or finds a way to shield his empire, Trump might just be the only man in America with the power to shake it from the top down. Elon Musk hasn't tweeted about Trump's threat. He hasn't posted a meme, a snarky response, or even acknowledged the situation directly. But behind the silence, he's already moving. And those moves tell us everything. According to multiple insiders close to both Tesla and SpaceX, Musk has ordered a full internal review of all federal exposure, contracts, tax credits, energy grants, and NASA timelines. This isn't just precaution, it's war, preparation. Musk knows that Trump doesn't fire warning shots without a follow-up. And if Trump regains power, he could appoint agency heads and committee chairs that slow-walk approvals, stall funding, or cancel awards, all legally, without fanfare. That's a real risk, and Musk is already building a defensive perimeter. One of the first quiet steps? Lobbying power realignment. Tesla and SpaceX have already begun reallocating lobbying budgets away from traditional DC routes and toward more bipartisan, Senate-heavy coalitions, especially those outside of Trump's core influence zone. According to filings and unnamed sources reported by Politico, Musk's lobbyists are pushing for contract language that can't be reversed without congressional approval, essentially trying to future-proof funding. It's a smart move, and a risky one. Because the more Musk positions himself to outmaneuver Trump in Washington, the more Trump will frame him as part of the deep state billionaire elite, a narrative that plays well with Trump's base. That's the trap, and Musk knows it's coming. But there's something else brewing, a media counterstrike. While Musk hasn't spoken out himself, platforms aligned with his worldview, like certain Substack newsletters, podcasts, and even ex-influencers, have started laying the groundwork for a larger narrative. Trump is anti-business, anti-progress, and stuck in the past. They're calling him a boomer king holding the economy hostage, a grifter obsessed with revenge instead of results. These aren't random voices. They're testing talking points. If the feud escalates, Musk won't just respond with numbers. He'll deploy culture warriors who can frame Trump not as a leader, but as a threat to innovation. And if that narrative gains traction, it could cost Trump more than just a few Silicon Valley enemies. It could fracture his donor class. So far, both men are walking the edge. Trump's threat has real teeth, and Musk's countermeasures are already quietly locking into place. But make no mistake, this silence won't last. The moment one of them takes it public, in a tweet, a rally, or a press conference, this will explode into a full-blown economic and political brawl. And when it does, the consequences won't just hit Twitter feeds. They'll ripple through tech stocks, campaign war rooms, and the next presidency itself. What's happening between Trump and Musk isn't just about two billionaires fighting over ego and money. It's turning into a battle for the soul of the modern right. Trump represents an older, power-centric conservatism. Strongman politics, border walls, oil drilling, and punishment for disloyalty. Musk, on the other hand, champions a more tech-forward, libertarian-leaning philosophy. Open-source platforms, innovation over regulation, and global capitalism. Until now, these two worlds coexisted awkwardly in the Republican orbit. But with Trump threatening to tear down Musk's financial foundation, and Musk's people preparing a narrative war in return, This feud could rip that alliance apart. And that means the fight isn't just personal, it's ideological. Inside GOP circles, donors are already picking sides. According to a New York Times leak, several mega donors who previously backed Trump are now shifting quietly toward Musk-aligned candidates, younger Republicans who favor economic reform, tech growth, and distancing the party from Trump's revenge-driven politics. These aren't public moves yet, but the money is flowing differently. PACs aligned with Musk's business interests are seeing spikes in funding, while Trump's own war chest is under pressure after recent legal battles and internal campaign restructuring. For every billionaire Trump alienates with these threats, another window opens for Musk to shape the party's future direction, without ever running for office. And it's not just about money, it's about influence. Musk controls platforms, literally. With X, formerly Twitter, under his ownership, Musk has the power to amplify or silence narratives in a way Trump never could, even during his peak Twitter era. And while Trump has Truth Social, its user base is a fraction of X's global reach. If Musk leans in and begins shaping the algorithm to favor anti-Trump content, or boost stories about Trump's economic failures, it could quietly crush Trump's digital momentum before he even realizes it. The battlefield isn't just on debate stages or in fundraising halls anymore, it's in feeds, timelines, and trending tabs. This is why 2025 could become the year the Republican Party fractures in public. Trump's populist grip is still strong, but it's no longer untouchable. And if Musk decides to fully deploy his influence, this feud could reshape not only the next election, but the entire ideological foundation of America's political right. Think about it. A billionaire with rockets, satellites, and a global platform facing off against a former president with millions of loyalists and a taste for revenge. This isn't just political theater. This is a battle for control of the future. Here's the part no one wants to say out loud. If Trump regains power and actually follows through on these threats, Elon Musk's empire could face its biggest existential crisis yet. Forget headlines and social media. This would be a direct blow to Tesla, SpaceX, and Starlink, with ripple effects through global markets. Musk has built a brand on untouchable innovation and calculated rebellion, but Trump is the rare kind of political operator who doesn't bluff. He punishes. And if punishing Musk serves his base, fuels his campaign, or helps him reassert dominance over Silicon Valley billionaires who've turned cold, he'll do it. The bigger question is, what kind of retaliation will Musk unleash if that happens? Musk isn't just some startup CEO. He owns platforms, satellites, infrastructure, data, and global audience trust. If he decides to turn those tools toward Trump, subtly or aggressively, it could ignite a digital Cold War between two of the most influential figures on Earth. We're not talking about snarky tweets or campaign ads. We're talking algorithmic pressure, access throttling, narrative dominance, AI-backed messaging, tools most politicians don't even fully understand yet. Trump might think he's warning Musk with subsidy threats, but Musk holds a different kind of weapon: control of the digital battlefield. And unlike Trump, Musk doesn't need permission to use it. This is no longer just a spat. It's the collision of two empires with completely different rule books and zero tolerance for losing. On one side, Trump with his cult-like base, campaign rallies, and scorched earth loyalty tests. On the other, Musk with his silent global networks, his billionaire leverage, and his access to real-time influence engines. If this escalates, it's not just tech or politics that will take the hit. It's public trust, policy, markets, and possibly even international negotiations that depend on both of them. And in a country where power is shifting more toward private platforms than public office, this isn't just a feud, it's a forecast of the future. So here's the real question for viewers. If Trump starts turning off the funding tap and Musk starts turning down the volume on Trump's message, Who blinks first? Or do they both go all in and take everyone else down with them? Stay locked in, because this story isn't cooling off anytime soon. And if what's brewing behind the scenes finally erupts, we won't just be watching a feud, we'll be watching a new kind of power struggle unfold in real time.